in our community. And for me, when I see how much you are going through as a result of being that advocate and not really seeing the community look at that and be like, you know what? Solange is really stepping up, but she's under so much threat. What can we do? That's the problem.
Stay in position radio, man. Let's get it.
That we get to that place. But you just touched on something that I want to also talk about, because I really want your opinion on this. This whole war that's going on in the United States between Africa versus African American. I'm from Ghana. I know you're from East Africa, correct? Is it Somalia or Ethiopia? Okay, so what are your thoughts on this? I know me personally, I spend a lot of time in the United States. I have nothing but love for Black Americans. So I'm really trying to get everybody's feel about what do you think is driving this war right now?
Well, the truth is that what colonialism and enslavement and oppression and anti-Black racism has done, like the greatest effect is the lies that our oppressors have passed down onto us, right? Those lies, again, keep us divided, because if first of all, Black and brown people are the global majority, right? If people of the global majority actually united, transformation would happen across the globe. So powers that be actually benefit when we don't understand the truth about who we are, right? They benefit from our disconnection. They benefit from us hating each other, having misunderstandings about each other. So here's the thing. We know that Africa, the continent, is the motherland, right? We know that.
Yeah, check it out, man. We're going to do a little quick rundown on what's been going on. It had 40,000 acres or more. It was a wildfire in California. And the air quality from Canada is coming to the East Coast. It's all messed up. You got fires all the way from in the areas of West Colorado all the way to Idaho. And then Greg Abbott, yo big pussy ass. I heard you in the news. You still a big bitch. You know what it is, pussy ass nigga. Entertainment purposes only. Benjamin Netanyahu, you a bitch ass nigga too. You big head motherfucker. Entertainment purposes only. And but that's what's been going on, like wildfires and the air quality. So ain't nothing really going on besides the war. You already know war still going on. And I was listening to this African diaspora. They're talking about the Ontario racism stuff. But that's what's been going on lately. College football out on PlayStation. If y'all ain't already know, Madden to be out next week. So it's finna go down. What else? I think it was 40,000 acres. I think that burned in Russia, if I ain't mistaken. But I wrote it down, but I forgot to write it. But I forgot to write to see where it was from or whatever. But if y'all want to Google it, just 40,000 acres so far burned. Wildfires in California, the air quality coming from Canada all the way to the East Coast. And that's it really. They cutting some bus routes out in Philadelphia. So if y'all know anybody out in Philadelphia that need to get transportation, y'all had them come up with some kind of group or something, work together. We got to come together in unity, man. That's the only way we're going to do this. But just in case they try to pull that anywhere else, y'all just be on the lookout for them cutting bus routes and shit like that. But I'm going to let y'all hear this real quick.
All Black people originate from Africa. But we also
this
know
is
that
African diaspora. This some ladies talking.
Colonialism and white supremacy has operated is that They stole Black people from the continent of Africa and displaced them all across the globe. So Black people exist everywhere, whether it be Black America, whether it be in in America or Latin America, or it be in in Canada and across the globe. So in the Caribbean, of course, and the harm of
Greg Abbott, Benjamin Netanyahu, y'all some big pussies. Greg Abbott, you big bitch. Even though you in the wheelchair, you still a pussy, whole ass nigga. I know niggas beat the shit out of niggas in wheelchairs all the time, so they don't even care about stuff like that. So I'm just letting you know, man. You've been pulling bullshit all these years about this and that. But I'm just letting you know, man. Entertainment purposes only. And Benjamin Netanyahu, you ain't nothing but a war maniac, man. You ain't nothing but a war thug, a genocidal maniac, pussy ass nigga. You big head motherfucker. Entertainment purposes only, man. Let's get it.
Happened in the Caribbean.
Stay in position radio, man.
The harm of slavery happened, of course, in America, happened in Canada, happened in Latin America. We have that shared experience along with colonialism. The reality is Black America needs Africa and the Caribbean, and Africa and the Caribbean needs Black America. We need each other. We are so deeply connected. We have a shared experience, and we have a unique experience. And so it's that uniting that needs to happen. It's a lie. Like, at the end of the day, same with me, Emma. Like, I spent a lot of time in the States. I still do. My partner is in the States. And I'm so grateful for Black American culture because it saved us growing up. When we were dealing with all of the harm and violence, it saved us because we could see representation, being able to see, the music and the art and the TV shows. And that saved us, along with the fact that I had my Ethiopian culture. And so we need to know that we can't have one without the other. And I think a lot of Black Americans are also connecting to their roots. And we saw Sierra, for example, just get her citizenship in Benin. And we see other people doing that, going to Africa and gaining citizenship, connecting back to their roots, right? And so I think it is propaganda, really. And I think we as Black people across the diaspora really need to start to develop a more Pan-African perspective.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know for me, I will admit that when I first went to the United States, and before I went, a lot of people said to me, be careful going there. Black Americans are this, and Black Americans are that. You're going to get, this and that. All these things are going to happen to me. It didn't stop me from going, but I will admit that when I crossed over, my head was on swivel. I was like, there was so many things in my mind that I felt like I need to watch out for. But all it took was like one interaction at the gas station to change my mind, to be like, I don't know if what this narrative that people are saying is true, right? And then as I spent the time there, I was like, oh my gosh. And like you said, the representation there, just seeing firefighters all be Black, and going to a fire station and all the firefighters in there were Black, and like everywhere you went, you saw like Black employees everywhere, which we don't see to that extent here. So I'm with you. I always say this with every report I do about this. My response is always, we need to get to a place where we unify. And as you just said, it benefits the folks. Us being divided doesn't benefit us at all. It benefits the folks. They are the only ones benefiting from that. So I totally agree with you, as one African sister to another. It's like, stop this. Let us all, that right whole saying, can we all just get along?
But also, it's like we need each other. And without each other, we can't really develop that Black, African diasporic experience. And I think the stereotypes and the lies that we were all told, I know my mom it happens even within the Canadian context, Caribbeans with Africans, continental Africans with, continental, or so forth with Caribbeans. There's all these stereotypes and lies that have been created. And who created those lies? That's a question we have to ask. who taught you that this specific group of Black people are an uncivilized group of Black people, or are lazy, or are bad? These are lies that,
Get on the Madden,
that
man.
our
You know what it is.
oppressors have taught, that think that about all of us. Like, there's all of us are under that umbrella. And so I often say that I actually, appreciate Black American culture compared to the Canadian culture, because the Black Canadian culture has been so suppressed. It has been so placed down. And in when I'm in the States, I can literally be in spaces and everybody in the space is Black. You can go to events. Like, I will only go sometimes. I will go to the States to watch certain artists or go to certain concerts, because I'm like, I need to see this artist in a Black space. Like, that is healing for my soul. Same thing when I go to Ethiopia or I'm in the continent. There is an experience of being in spaces where it is only for us, by us. And, I think it's important for us to be able to say, like, what are some things that we can start to model?
Those of y'all that's joined, listening to African Diaspora.
And elevating the Black
We're talking about some Canada racism
so
stuff.
forth, helping to create a strong Black identity while also maintaining your cultures within that.
And that is something that is severely lacking here in Canada. Okay, they love to say that Canada is multilingual and multicultural, but there really is no culture here. And we definitely need to get to that place. But uniformly, everybody needs to stop this war that still I can't wrap my mind around. But I also wanted to ask you, was there ever a time with everything that you go through and all the backlash that you receive where you felt really unsafe and fear for your life? That's the first question. And then secondly, did you ever at any time feel like, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's not worth it. It's not worth my life. It's not worth my son's life. Have you ever gone down that path?
Yeah, the first experience when this happened, like I shared a couple years ago when I had to close my studio, that was very scary. There was a lot of security steps I had to put in place. There was things I had to do to protect my family that I'm not going to share online, but we had to do and put in place behind closed doors to be able to protect myself and my family. Doing this work is a risk. Talking about Blackness, talking about anti-Black racism, especially in Canada, because Canada is like, I don't know, I feel like Canada is 50 years behind in doing this work in terms of anti-racism and equity. Recently, the situation where I shared about Canada Day, which, is just very common knowledge. We are on stolen land. The original inhabitants of this land are Indigenous peoples. Celebrating it is celebrating, obviously colonialism and genocide and so forth. Talking about 250 years of enslavement. The violent messages that I received just this most recent time, it impacts you, it impacts you mentally, emotionally, physically. I think the reality is we don't talk enough about the connection between racism and mental health, and how it is a risk to one's mental health when you are an advocate in this space. And we're taught to have thick skin. And in many ways we do, we know how to do this work. We know how to kind of categorize it and compartmentalize it. So yeah, there has been days where I'm like, child, this is not my fight. Like, this is the fight of, these people that should be eradicating these systems. Like, why do our ancestors, and why do we have to put ourselves on the line? But then I'm always reminded that I do feel called to this work. I do feel like it is spiritual work. I feel like no matter what I do, whether it's coaching, whether it's yoga, whether it's, teaching anti-racism, that this work will always be at the forefront of what I do, because I do feel that I was called to this work in many ways. And I think it is something that culturally within our communities we have done. I don't believe that Black people should be forced into activism. I think that we also deserve to have joy and have peace and have ease. And I think that it's important for us to recognize that just because you're Black does not mean that you're an activist or an advocate. You're allowed to be a doctor, you're allowed to be a nurse, you're allowed to be a singer, you can be a teacher, whatever it is that you want to do. I think the people who are responsible for creating these systems are really, at the end of the day, the people that need to take ownership and responsibility for it. But I think this is our life's work. We are called to this work in our communities for our future, for our children, for our children's children. And we're planting seeds for trees that we may not be able to get access to the shade in our generation, right? It's next generations that will have access to it. So it's painful, but it's also, at the end of the day, this is spiritual work, and we're going to continue to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, growing up in the what I always refer to as the racist province of Quebec, and being 6 years old and hearing the N-word for the first time and not even really understanding like why these kids are calling us this, the two words they knew how to say in English, the N-word and the M-word, that animal that I cannot say on this platform, and then fast forward to now and still seeing it happening and knowing it's happening to our kids and the school boards, and like you said, they're our future. When we're no longer above ground, they're the ones that are going to be left here to fight the fight. So I that's what fuels me, is that seeing that I went through it as a young girl and all the way really through my teenage life, adult life, and so on. I say to myself, this fuels me. And that's what keeps me going, even with my enemies. When they send me messages, like for example, they say to me, stop referring to Quebec as the racist province, otherwise I will look for more, just so that I can continue to expose, so for me, it fuels me. And you're right, sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's hard, but we are called to do this, and it takes a specific type of person to do it. You are exposing yourself daily on camera, through writing, and you have to be prepared for what comes back to you. So I really applaud. I applaud you, girl. I tip my hat, everything. You are doing amazing things, and I'm going to keep following you, and we will find a way to collaborate. Definitely. We got to make it happen. Thank you. Any final words for you?
I mean, I just want to give you your flowers and the platform that you've created. We do not have enough Black, media spaces in Canada. I mean, really not enough is not even explaining it. We don't have really any except for maybe one or two. And so what you are doing to highlight the truth of what's happening within the Canadian context is so important, because part of how anti-Black racism flourishes within Canada is stories are not being told. Mainstream media is not telling our stories, and it perpetuates this lie that it's not happening, right, in this country. But when we know that at the end of the day, Canada just has an amazing PR system, and the work that you're doing is really highlighting and telling that truth. And so I just want to, give you your flowers and say thank you for all the work that you do.
And I thank you, because I know and I can resonate with everything that you're going through. I feel it. I feel you. I'm with you. We're with you. And we're just going to keep doing it here in Canada.
Ashe, absolutely.
Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you.
Well, I, for one, really appreciate Salam. She's one of very, very few people in Canada that really do fight the fight for our people and continue to do so despite all of the threats that she gets. Her business is closing down. It doesn't stop her. I appreciate her again. And you know what? We're going to keep doing what we're doing here in Canada. We're going to keep the fight going, and we're not going to stop. We will continue to expose the anti-Black racism that exists here, because what we're not going to allow is this continued narrative that it doesn't exist here, and slavery doesn't exist here, and racism doesn't exist here, and that we're just this great, nice, happy country. And to those who keep telling us to go back to where we came from, because we speak the truth and because we speak out against anti-Black racism and the brutality against our people, I will say this again, and I say it all the time. You go first, because this isn't your country either, okay? In the meantime, let me know what you think about all this. Let me know what you think about what Salam has said. Also, let me know what you think about our conversation in regards to this whole diaspora war between Africans and African Americans. Let me know what your thoughts are on that too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News app from the Google or Apple Store. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Emma Ansa Unfiltered. Until next time, please be safe.
Yeah, that was. She already said what her name was, so y'all go look her up. But yeah, I'm here to talk about the air quality, the the flooding. There's still a lot of plane crashes. Got what I did with my notes, but anyways, that's what's going on though. I've been hearing Texas in the news. Greg Abbott, that pussy ass nigga, been in the news. Benjamin Netanyahu, you been in the news, still be doing bullshit. Entertainment purposes only. So we need to just keep coming together, man. Keep getting this news out, because they can't stop everybody. They trying to filter certain people's stations and all that, but just stay in position. They can't fuck with us. They don't like us on these platforms. We getting more people getting more views than TV stations. I don't even watch TV no more. Shit, if I do, it's for a couple. It's for one show, and then I'm gonna cut that bitch off. Like them niggas used to do on them TV shows back in the day. But shit, man, it's a lot of flooding though, and the air quality. So y'all, let me know in the comment section what's going on out there with y'all way. I'm sitting here playing Madden. But yeah, what's going on out there in the world? Oh yeah, Oprah. She had her gate or her access way closed or whatever. Then she got 1,000 acres out there in Maui, Hawaii or whatever. Say she opened it up, but shit, you should have left it open anyway. I don't know why she had it closed. And she got 1,000 acres and don't got nobody working on it. She should have had her workers open it. She should have given them a lot of people out there jobs, make up for what she did. That whole shit she put. She shouldn't have had that. Motherfuckers shouldn't have been stranded like that. It shouldn't have went that far. That's selfish thinking. Plane crashes going on. A lot of stuff going on in Russia and Cali, they saying. So y'all watch out if y'all out that way. Oh, when they say it's some kind of pool disease going around. So y'all keep them kids out the pools. Keep them away from certain pools or whatever, camps and shit like that. They got some disease going around, some anemia, brain-eating anemia disease or whatever. So if y'all heard about that, put it in the comment section. A lot of hurricanes, a lot of little stuff going on. Y'all let me know what y'all heard though. Yeah. So Oprah, you on the hot seat. You need to do a video about why that gate was closed so long and why was it miles and miles of cars of people waiting trying to get out that gate, knowing that you had a way to get out that access road. You probably had it all planned. So I don't know. But you on the hot seat. You need to do a video explaining why. And like I said, you need to give most of them people jobs on that acre, on them 1,000 acres you got. You should give them most of them people jobs. There should be 1,000 people working on each acre, at least. You can give 1,000 of them motherfuckers some jobs. You heard it here first. Stay in Position Radio. You know, you out of line for having that access road closed though. But you on the hot seat, you need to do a couple interviews and get them people some jobs. I'll come out there in Maui and work, and lead them if you need me to. Shit. But Stay in Position Radio. Y'all let me know what's going on. I'm gonna try to pull up another video before I get off real quick. Let's see what else I can play for you real quick. Let's play this.
Well, Donald Trump says he plans on announcing fresh tariffs within the next week. The president initially proposed tariffs on pharmaceutical imports last month, claiming
it's coming from the first edition.
They'll be phased in over a year or more. Trump previously stated he wants pharmaceuticals made in America, adding that tariffs on foreign pharmaceutical imports could reach up to 250%.
But on pharmaceuticals, we'll be putting a initially small tariff on pharmaceuticals, but in 1 year, 1.5 years maximum, it's going to go to 150%, and then it's going to go to 250%, because we want pharmaceuticals made in our country.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles.
They didn't really say much on that, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off for the day. Y'all let me know what it is out there. Stay in Position Radio.
Give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a great show for y'all, man. But before we get into it, please make